right, real light and fast versus heavy and slow. Today I have some Grizzly ammunition in 45 ACP and 357 SIG. There's a significant difference in bullet weights here. A 90 grain jacketed hollow point for our 357 SIG, a 230 grain for our 45 ACP, and there's a +P. So these are really big, weird looking hollow points. I don't know what company makes those, but they got some serious big hollow cavities and jagged looking hollow points there. Now our 45 ACP is rated at 1,000 feet per second, but it does not list a barrel length at all. Our 357 SIG actually says it's rated at 1,900 feet per second from a 5-inch barrel, and I am going to use a 5-inch barrel. My 5-inch barrel M&P 40 conversion with our 357 SIG barrel. And for 45, I got my Glock 41, which has a 5.3-inch barrel. So we get pretty similar amount of barrel travel, considering that the 45 is a little bit longer cartridge. So I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy I get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test, and what I'm going to do is best case scenario versus worst case scenario. So basically our best case scenario is going to be just plain clear ballistics. That's it. And then my worst case scenario is going to be 4 layers of denim, a 1/4-inch medium density fiberboard to represent hitting ribs or sternum. And before that, I have 3 inches of clear ballistics. A lot of people question why 3 inches. You'd have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger for that to be the case, all of that. I use 3 inches because ballistics gel and clear ballistics is roughly half as dense as human flesh. So this is literally like an 1.5-inch pectoral. And after that test, I'm going to shoot from a little distance at my steel silhouette. But one thing I have setting up there is I have an old water heater. I want to see what happens if I hit that with 357 SIG versus 45 ACP, because, you know, a lot of people say 357 SIG is good for hard barrier penetration and stuff like that. I kind of want to see how true that is, if there's really any difference there. So let's get started with this test. All right, I'm about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Before I start chronographing, one thing I wanted to address that's been driving me up the wall for a while is a lot of people will, you know, once I put this jacket on, this coat on, people will say, why do you lean back when you shoot? But surprisingly, I don't lean back when I shoot in the summer. So, and why would I do that? That'd be one of the most uncomfortable things to do, to arch my back. What's going on is this jacket will move forward. When I lift my arms, my coat hood is just really far back, and this is sort of a fishbowl type, you know, lens, and that's just what it looks like sometimes. So just want to get that out of the way. So our 45 ACP, we are rated at 1,000 feet per second. Let's see what we actually get out of this 5.3-inch Glock here. 1093, wow. 1085, and it's powerful enough that I got a malfunction, nosedive, all that kind of stuff. Typically only see that with like 45 Super, so that's something to keep in mind there. You're pushing a little too fast. It's accurate though. 1093, exactly the same thing. Get kind of a double feed here. Interesting. Normally this thing runs fine. 1089, same thing. Same thing, 1088. So I personally would avoid this out of Glock pistol. So let me try that 357 SIG now. I'll pick up that ammo in a minute. Let's see what we get here. Rated at 1,900 feet per second. So let's see what we get. 1880. So that's pretty close. 1882. 1898. 1907. 1904, so they weren't lying about that velocity. That's some serious velocity. Ran fine in this M&P pistol. So let's set our ballistics gel block with these and see what we get. All right, just plain clear ballistics, 45 ACP. See what this does. And again, we're malfunctioning. Let's try that 357 SIG now. All right, just plain straight clear ballistics with our 357 SIG. Wow. I've never seen that happen before. All right, yeah, I've never seen anything like that happen before. That is interesting. With our 45 ACP, we get a penetration of about 13 inches. There's some fragmentation in there. With our 357 SIG, wow. Okay, we started fragmenting right here. We can kind of see coming out like buckshot all over. This is not a fragmenting round. This is a traditional hollow point. And what we got for our penetration is only about 5 inches total. So that is very, very, very interesting. Let's put our denim on the front now and our medium density fiberboard and see, if that makes a difference with these. And by the way, this is, what's happening every single time with this. It just nosedives up and just really jams kind of funny here. So, and I know I'm not limp wristing it. It would take a really small person with very little strength for that to happen. So I'm going to see what happens when we go through our denim and our MDF now. So let's see how this does. Hold it as tight as possible. And it's still jammed. All right, so here's our medium density fiberboard. I actually took the whole corner off, which is not typical. So it's hitting that pretty hard. I'm just thinking about my next shot with the 357 SIG. Kind of laughing there because I know what I'm going to expect. Goodbye, camera. But what we're looking at here with our 45 ACP through our medium density fiberboard, we got a little bit more penetration. We're at about 14 inches, so about an inch more. And we got expansion. Everything looks pretty good with that. So let's try our 357 SIG now for our medium density fiberboard. All right, 357 SIG. Let's just hit it. The fiberboard, I'm not going to show it. It is busted up into like 8 pieces. The lamination is busted through it, all of that. It's all over. All right, so when we hit it with the denim, and there does seem to be a difference here. It's not fragmenting out. Like this is the shot where it's got a good 3-inch spread with our plain gel, but with the denim here, it lowered that down, and it kind of kept that bullet intact. It has sucked some fiberboard in there quite a bit here. But what we're looking at here, again, we're not getting enough penetration because it's impacting so hard. We're looking at 8 inches of penetration. No doubt that would do a good job if you made the right shot, but if any variables get in the way, maybe not so much. But I kind of want to see what it does to steel, and that might make a difference in my opinion with this. So let's try that. All right, because that is just regular mild steel, I am back from 50 yards just to try to prevent any possible ricochets. I really have no idea what it's going to do, but before that, I'm going to shoot some rounds at my steel target just to kind of see where they're heading. So let's at least see if I can get this Glock to be reliable. 50 yards, steel target. I rack one in, don't I? Put a little bit to the left for me. That's getting a little bit high, a little bit left. Nosedive. All right, so it is hitting a little high. Even a little bit lower. So it's not quite point of aim for me, so I'm going to start shooting at that steel tank and see what happens. I didn't realize it was pressurized. And it's so weird how this happens with this jam. It almost always crushes the rounds coming up at this weird steep angle. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that this Glock pistol, it is lighter than a normal 21. It's got a thin slide. It's really meant for competition with the Moss thing on here. So it's really meant for shooting like standard rounds. All right, keep going. So I don't know if those went through or not. We will see, but let's see how our 357 SIG shoots. So I'm just going to aim center mass on my normal steel target, see where they're hitting. All right. I think they're pretty much point of aim. I'm just kind of not focusing a ton. So let's go for that water heater. All right, let's go up and take a look at that. All right, so we are seeing a difference here because, you know, a lot of these big holes here, you can definitely tell where the 45s hit because they're kind of tearing through a little bit bigger hole. That's where our 357 SIGs, it looks like they're just kind of really chipping through. Like where it's just really cookie cuttering it. So let me show the back of this. All right, so we got some pass-throughs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have some dents out there. Those are gonna be definitely 100% from that 357 SIG. I have no doubt whatsoever on that. Now we have some big dents here. I don't know, that could be from the 357 SIG. I shot probably at least 15, 16, 17 rounds at this, and we only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actual pass-throughs. So those are definitely going to be from the 357 SIG. I just have no doubt whatsoever because we see dents here that are kind of big, but then we see smaller little protrusions coming through here. So yeah, 357 SIG does penetrate pretty well. So that's what you get today with our Grizzly 357 SIG versus 45 ACP. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.